Hey there guys, I wanted to jump on here and share some quick easy ways that you can go about weighing and measuring your food for this challenge. So the first thing that I do is grab my food scale, grab the container or plate, whatever you're using, and go ahead and zero your scale out so that it doesn't account for the weight of your container. And I'm gonna be weighing out some cottage cheese that I'm gonna have as my snack for today. So what I love about cottage cheese is it's a really great source of protein. I prefer the Gold Cultural ones because I feel like they have a little bit higher protein and have some other simple ingredients in them, meaning they don't have a lot of carbs or fats in them. And I like to have my macros separate. So I like to be able to add in my personal choice of a carbohydrate, add in my fat, and kind of keep things as separate as possible. I feel like it gives me a little bit more control of my macros so that things come out a little even. So what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the food label here is I'm looking at the top of the serving size. So serving size for this cottage cheese is half of a cup or 110 grams. I like to work off of grams. I know Amanda said she likes to work off of ounces. So really it's whatever you find works most efficiently for you. But I find that a lot of nutrition labels are have the option of having grams with them. So for me, I'm gonna double this up. I'm gonna have two servings so that I get 28 grams of protein. It's gonna be more like a lunchtime for me. I guess I don't necessarily label my food as meals or snacks. I just kind of fit them in when works for my schedule. So I'm gonna be doubling this up so that I get a whole lot of protein. And as you can see, it's a really fast, easy way to get 28 grams of protein in, which is why I love cottage cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this 220 grams because that's gonna give me double the portion size. And then once I reach my 220 grams, here we go, 223, close enough. I'm gonna be adding in my next thing. So what I wanna do from here is I wanna go ahead and zero out my scale again, and I can just start right on top of that. So I don't need to have a separate way of measuring. I can just keep the same plate and keep building onto it, zeroing out my scale and adding the next ingredient. So I'm gonna be adding raspberries. I'm gonna add a half a cup, which is 60 grams. I just know that from weighing things out, and you can kind of do a test for yourself if you're curious what a half of cup of raspberries is. You could just put that on your scale, zero it out, and now you don't have to dirty another utensil every time you go to measure. So I'm gonna add my 60 grams of raspberries onto this to give me some good carbs and fruits. There we go, 60 grams of raspberries on here. I may even add on some granola just to get a few more carbs in here. Another way you could add on another macro could be putting some peanut butter on here to add some fat in there. So what I like about using, like I said, like the single macro ingredients is it gives you more control to fluctuate where you need to. If you need more carbs, you can easily adjust and add on as needed. If you need more fat or less fat, it just gives you a little bit more control to slide up and down that scale as needed in your macros of what you need to get to your grand totals at the end of the day. So what this comes down to is easy ways to measure so that you're not dirtying multiple measuring cups and utensils throughout the day. A food scale is really all you need, and you can just add on each time, continue to zero out your scale to add the next ingredient on. You could also do this at dinner time if you have like your dinner plate going. It doesn't need to be this big like tedious thing or obvious thing to your family. If you're like, hey, I don't want like my kids to worry about me measuring things out or whatnot, just grab your scale, throw your food on there real quick and move on with your life. It doesn't need to be something that consumes every meal for you. So you throw your plate on there, zero it out, add your 4 ounces of chicken, zero the scale back out, add your 100 grams of sweet potatoes, zero the scale back out, add your 100 grams of broccoli, zero the scale back out. Now you have your full meal, and it took you maybe under 60 seconds to weigh everything out and make sure you had a portion that was appropriate for you. So I hope this helps. I wanted to just give you some quick tips on how to use a food scale to weigh and measure food and snacks out for yourself. Like I said, if you're doing one, so for example, I just doubled up. I did 2 of these containers as I'm making these videos for you. So now if I made my snack for today, I also have it for tomorrow. Anytime you're prepping one thing, think ahead to the next. It doesn't necessarily make sense to only prep for one meal at a time if you have the ingredients in your house and available to you, it'll make tomorrow a little easier. So double it up at least if you can, and just try to keep it simple. Hope this helps. If you have any questions on how to weigh or measure food, comment below and we'll pop on here to answer that for you.